Welcome back to another great episode of Comedians in Bed, where I have another great host with us today. I'll say something else after that, but I done forgot my mind and blanked out. The edible's kicking in. Um, where comedians could be themselves. I don't really know what that means. But it sounds like something you should say on a podcast, man. I got another great host for you. I mean, another great guest with us here today, bro. He's a really good comedian, man. He's really great writing style. And as always, of course, I always bring funny people on here, and of course, he's gonna be funny, man, because he's from Ohio. So it's great to have him on here today, here with Comedians in Bed. Please give it up for Marcus Ballard, everybody.
What's going
Marlon,
on, y'all? What's going on?
Marlon, man, what's going on? How you feeling today?
I'm doing good, brother. Thank you for having me on the show. Comedians in Bed, man. This is a dope podcast, man. I saw you had a couple of my friends on here before.
Oh man, I appreciate it, man. I'm so glad to have you on here. I see like you you kind of like in the Atlanta scene, then you kind of like in the DC scene, you kind of just all over, man. Like where are you at?
I'm based in Atlanta. I'm full time in
Okay.
Atlanta, definitely.
Okay. How do you like it down there?
Atlanta's cool. I actually started in Atlanta. I didn't start in Cleveland. I moved to Atlanta for school and started doing stand up down there. And I wouldn't have went to start anywhere else because that scene is it was very tight knit when I started. There's a lot of OGs out there giving advice. It was a lot of I wouldn't say it was a lot of help because I did a lot of stuff on my own, but it's a great place to come up in if you want to be like an actual beast and learn how to rock a show the correct way.
That's what's up. I usually don't get right into it, but I ask because my I have like family down there in Atlanta and everything like that, and sometimes I think about doing the scene. And when you see the Atlanta scene, you think about the movies and things, and they do say that Atlanta has a big poppin' comedy scene down there as well.
It does, yeah. Atlanta has a great scene. I mean, the people that do stand up with us, from Desi Banks to Ti doing comedy now, and it's a lot of people like me out there. Uh, I can name names all day. All the people there are funny. They're I vouch for them. Well, most of them, most of them. But the ones you see me with, they're funny.
Yeah. What made you move to Atlanta?
I went for school. I was
That's
tired
cool.
of
Yeah.
moving around. My mom was military, so we had to move around every 3-4 years. Just so she can get stationed somewhere else. I was tired of moving. I didn't want to go overseas, so I'm like, I'm gonna just move to Atlanta because
Mhm.
I couldn't afford to go to Orlando. I really wanted to move to Orlando to go to film school, but tuition was high. It was high as hell. So I'm like, I'll just move to Atlanta. That way, I'm closer to Orlando than I am where I'm at now. And just when I get the money, I move there. So I moved there. Told everybody, I'm like, look, I want to go to film school, and they was like, bro, you around the people that you want to be around with in film anyway. So just start doing stand up. Build your repertoire like that, and later on, you become the film star. But just build your name up right now. And 12 years later, here I am.
Yeah. Uh, were you scared? I mean, because like everybody be in Atlanta, so like, were you scared? Like people when they might have heard you say, "Oh, yeah, I'm moving to Atlanta," they didn't probably take you serious.
No, I wasn't scared. It was just, I was used to moving anyway, so I really didn't give a damn what nobody said. But you know, I went there. I didn't want to do stand up. I didn't want to do it. I was pretty much peer pressured into doing it. There's, people be like, "Yo, you funny." And usually when you hear a story of somebody saying, "Yeah, people said I'm funny all the time," they never ain't fun. They ain't never funny ever. So I stopped doing that. I'm just like, you look, I just want to do this to see if it works, and if it works, I'm gonna keep at it. If it don't, I'm not gonna keep doing it. And I'm real hard on myself. Pause. So I wanted to, uh, if I have a bad if I have a bad show, I make it my mission to make sure I come back, 20 times tougher than I was, man. So I make it, I'm very hands on as a comedian. I take that shit seriously, and like I said, that's why I'm still in this thing, man.
Yeah. 12 years, and what keeps you motivated to keep going?
Nothing. I didn't quit like 1,000 times because I'm frustrated. I get frustrated. A lot of people think the comedy thing is easy, and it's not. Especially if you want to take it seriously. You could be doing comedy 15 years and be good at it, somebody that goes viral yesterday can get a comedy club booking before you. So and it's so many, tricks and turns. It's like as soon as I started, the game changed. I was building myself up to learn to come up like Martin and Chappelle and them did. As soon as I started, they like, nope, you gotta have 1 million followers now. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So now I gotta do all that now. And I'm not really a social media person. Yeah, I get up there and post shit all day, but I'm not about to do skits and none of that shit, man. I will if it makes sense, but it gotta be, I don't want to put no bullshit in the atmosphere.
How have you learned to like adjust to this new transition in comedy?
Still adjusting. Every day is, like I said, every day is something different. Every day. It's a curveball. So I mean, I'm learning as I go, but it's a lot of stuff that if you was here, you'd be like, man, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I got too much respect for myself. But at the same time, kind of got to do it because if you say no, it's 300 other dumbass comics that'll take it.
Yeah, yeah. How do you know what's worth taking and what's worth not taking?
I mean, if you 15 in and you doing something for exposure, then that should say a lot. If you hear about a competition and you never heard about anybody winning this competition ever, they just keep having it and keep having it and keep having it. It's probably not real. It's probably, and you probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Probably know exactly what I'm talking about.
So when
So
you go to
you got to be smart about what you pick. Like if you doing a casting call or something, you look to your left and right, and you don't see nobody. You just see it. Comics that been doing it for 2 months. You shouldn't be there.
is that normal for you guys to get like casting calls like that in the regular down there? Do they reach out to you guys or like seek you guys
I
out?
mean, they really don't reach out because I'll tell you what, the difference between a real casting call and something that's just an open thing. A real casting call won't be general. It won't be public knowledge. It won't be public knowledge. Like it would be select few that would know about it. Now versus an open call, that's everybody know. Everybody and their mama. So that means they looking for some bullshit. They looking for somebody that'll put on blackface and go up there and tap dance for you. They looking for that. I've rarely seen anything come good out of that.
Yeah, yeah. I do see you travel a lot. What scenes do you think make you a little better, just as good as the Atlanta scene?
Oh man, one of my favorite scenes is the DC comedy scene. One of them. Like I feel when I go to DC, I'm around like people that actually traditionally do stand-up do stand-up comedy. Like they love it. Like this, it's all jokes. There's no gimmicks, no music cues. There's none of that bullshit that you see on the regular. These got jokes. So that right there, when I go to DC, that puts me on my P's and Q's. I'm like, y'all need to bring it out here. Cause I don't know you ever been to Baltimore, but that's not an easy crowd. Baltimore, they smell blood. They smell blood. If they see you about to bomb, they was like, oh, let's make this nigga cry. Yeah, let's see if he can cry. So I've never had a bad set in Baltimore, but I knew what it was when I got there. Um, Memphis is another town that you can't go out there and bullshit. Like they funny too. You
Yeah.
get heckled and you ain't got the chops like that, let it go. Drop the mic, get off stage because they are funny. Memphis crowds are funny.
How
But
do
yeah,
you handle
but
that?
definitely the DMV area and definitely Memphis is some of my favorite cities to hit. What else? Nashville's dope. And shit, that's another one that I ain't gonna say LA. LA is like that's a Hollywood town. So they, everybody in the crowd bougie. They want to be famous too. So they ain't gonna laugh at your shit like that. They're like, "Nigga, ha ha ha! I got 2 movies. Ha! That's not that funny, cuz." So it's like that. So yeah, definitely DMV is probably my top favorite cities to go to, the DMV area.
What's your worst bombing story?
Ooh. Now I'll be a lie to say, I don't bomb like that because like I told you earlier, I'm like if I have a bad set, which that could be a bomb to me, it wouldn't be a bomb to everybody else. Um, Worst bombing story. It's typical. Like you're doing bad when you start hearing people eat. When you hear silverware hitting the plate, that's terrible. Silence is worse than getting booed. I'll tell you that right now. Silence is worse. When they don't give when you're not even worth their booze, you like, man, I'm really doing bad. It's like, nigga, we ain't even gonna boo you. We just gonna talk amongst ourselves. And then they start talking. You like, oh, you niggas really ignoring me? Hey, hey. So it's that. But I think my worst bomb story was just me having a bad show, and they gave me the silent treatment. And then I got off stage. And after you bomb a show, just leave.
Mhm.
Leave. Don't hang around. Don't get another beer. Pay your tab and leave. I stayed around because I'm like, I ain't no bitch. So I stayed around. Everybody that was on the show with me got congratulated. Like, yo, you are funny. And then they stop at me. It was like, and then stop go to the next person. You are funny. I'm like, damn, they just dissed me. So it was that I didn't really have a super duper like bomb story. Not that I can think of right now, which usually is easy because that's PTSD for most comics.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got one. Yeah, you know comedian Doodoo Brown.
Mhm.
I went and did his room. He got a room in Columbus. That is not an easy room. You need to be on your shit when you go out there. I wasn't ready, so I went down there and got on stage. They did not give a fuck. 2 fights broke out. I think I was the cause of that. He and then I got on stage and he roasted me. He roasted me for 20 minutes, and they laughed in. I'm like, oh, so these niggas did hear me. Okay, and asked me how I been back. They were like, "You want to go down to Doodoo Brown room? No, we got $4,000. No, I'm good. Nah, I'm trying to sleep at night. I don't need this. Nope, I don't got time for that.
One of the things I like most about you is like your writing style. Like, what's your creative process when you're writing your jokes?
I don't write. I don't write. I remember I go on stage with an idea, and then I talk through it until I get a laugh, and usually whatever gets a laugh, I put in my Rolodex. I remember it and just build on it from there. I don't like sitting down and writing jokes on a piece of paper because it feel like homework to me. In school, I never did homework. I just passed just doing last minute shit. You know, barely. I'm not gonna say I passed with flying colors. I passed barely because I just didn't like doing homework. I didn't like that shit, man. So sitting down and writing jokes feels like homework to me. So I just get on stage, talk my way through it, even if it even if I have to do the same set for 6 to 8 months just trying to build something, I would do it. I'm not gonna say like when comics be like, yo, let's get together, have a writing session. One, your shit gonna get stolen. Two, um, it's just everybody got the same idea. So they hear something that you wrote and you like, man, I ain't gonna use the shit. Then you see them on stage doing the shit. So it's just this. I'm not good with just helping somebody right now. I'll help punch you up. If you got a set that you want me to see, you like, oh, like, yo, what do I need to do different? I'll sit and watch you and I'll punch your shit up. That's the best way I can write. But I don't write, bro. I just don't. It's hard for me. It's really hard for me to write.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you you get that freedom to range to flex your muscles on stage and figure it out. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What do you do when you're in a panic? Like, do you ever panic? Like, if you've been talking for a while and nothing been hitting, like, do you panic or you just wait it out?
No, I address the elephant in the room. So if I know I'm up there and I'm not doing that hot, and just address it. I'm like, okay, and I start like chastising the crowd a little bit. Just being an asshole. I'll drop whatever I had next and just start doing crowd work because that's probably what they want to hear. So if they want to be a difficult crowd, I'll be like, oh, we're gonna be a tough crowd today. We paid $45 and just to sit here and stare at this nigga. And I just start doing crowd work. And if that ain't working, I'll be like, you know what? My name is Chris Tucker. I'm leaving. See y'all later. And I'll say another nigga name, and then they'll laugh. But if I'm not hitting, I'm not hitting. But
Yeah,
if it's money involved and I was booked to do it and I'm obligated to do that time, I'm gonna do the time. I'm gonna do my jokes because I know they work. They worked at the other place. I just did it. It's y'all. It ain't me.
yeah,
So yeah, I really don't have a panic mode because right now at this point, I'm 12 years in. I don't care. Like you can't boo me off stage. You can't do nothing with me because I think I have the experience to bring a crowd back. And
yeah,
when you have that experience, nothing can stop you.
yeah. How did you? What ways did you network to like whenever city you go, you basically could hit any stage you want. How did you network?
I did that when I was on tour with Brandon T. Jackson, which I still am. Shout out to Brandon. Um, I love putting up opening acts, like a guest spot or two. I really was in control of that because with him, he disconnected. He ain't worried about that. He worried about his stuff. So I would be in touch with whoever was local, whoever was dope or different, and I'd give them 10 minutes on the show, whether they did one show or did the rest of the weekend. I'm like, yo, promote to your people, tell them to come check you out. You get on the show with Brandon, sell your merch, do whatever you want to do. And I would do that for them. And anytime I would come back without him, they have a stage for me because I'm like, yo, I put you on stage. I threw you a bone. Like I put you in front of a sold out crowd. He ain't never had this. So that's how 70% of the comedians that I mingle with, how we became friends. I met them elsewhere, put them on stage, and then we just kept in contact and got cool after that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
What have you?
last night I had a show in Youngstown, Ohio, with Genuine and Shy R&B group, and my boy Teddy out of Columbus pulled up. So he wasn't about to go on stage or nothing, but it was a part of the show where there was just nothing happening. Like it was an intermission. So I threw a bone. I could have went up there and did it, but I'm like, yo, let my man's go up. He dressed for the occasion, let him do his thing, and they let him go up. He got up there and rocked out, and I'm like, now you can add this to your resume, nigga. So I'll throw you a bone. I don't have to do every show. I don't have to do nothing. So I'll throw somebody a bone in a heartbeat. As long as you hard worker and you ain't on the bullshit, we can do it.
Well, I'm glad you made it out alive in Youngstown. I used to live there.
Ha! Anywhere in North Ohio, nigga, is crazy. Toledo, Lorain, Elyria, Cleveland, Youngstown, Akron. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you from Cleveland, right?
Lorain, West Cleveland.
Okay, right. Are you a Browns fan?
Of course.
Okay.
I'm every Cleveland. I'm every Cleveland fan. The Indians, I still call them Indians. So Indians, Browns, Cavs. You a real Ohio person if you call them you still call them the Indians. Like nobody's out here like, yeah, I'm going to see the Guardians. Nigga, Indians. Out of here with that. I know you're not from Ohio. If you talking about Guardians, nah, bro. Nah.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand. Are you proud of the Browns and happy they turning things around and stuff?
Nigga, they lost terribly. What do you mean? What do you mean? Am I happy, nigga? I sat there and watched the game, and I'm like, yo, okay, they got a touchdown, and then they got another touchdown, and then they got another touchdown. The Texans got another touchdown. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? And I can't even blame Flacco because he once he came in, he took over. He was they a new team with him, so I can't really blame him. But in true Cleveland fashion, I knew I was gonna get let down somewhere down the line. I knew it. I'm like, it's coming. I'm like, I didn't expect it to be the first game. I thought we was gonna get washed the second or third. But I'm like, bro, like the first round, okay.
I think I don't know if they're gonna do the Sean, but I think either way they're gonna be a problem in the AFC next year.
Next year, yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, as we start to wrap this up, man, I always like to ask people who is on your Mount Rushmore for comedy?
Ooh. See, this is a tough question for me because it wasn't only like stand-up comedians that influenced me. It was TV shows, certain characters that I watched growing up. Like if I gave you a Mount Rushmore, it'd be a little bit of everything, bro. It probably wouldn't even be that many stand-up comics on it. But if we talk a stand-up comedy, I'll give you a couple of my Mount Rushmores. We talk a stand-up comedy, Jamie Foxx. This is in no order. Jamie Foxx, Eddie Murphy, of course Chappelle, and I would put Martin up there.
Okay.
But it changes every day. It changes every day. But the people that definitely stay up there, Dave, Jamie, and Eddie. Eddie's number one for me when it comes to comedy. His movies and stand-up, Eddie's number one. He's always gonna be my number one. That's my Richard Pryor, for the older generation. Older generation always be like, yo, Richard Pryor. So nigga, with me, it's Eddie Murphy. So and then if you talk about anything else that's a Mount Rushmore for me for my humor, Al Bundy from the show Married with Children, his comedic timing and everything on that show, Beavis and Butthead, Jim Carrey. It's a combination of In Living Color. The Wayans family is a big inspiration to me too. So that's my TV Mount Rushmore. when it
Okay.
comes to that. So it's a lot of things that explains my humor. It's a whole gumbo of shit,
Yeah.
and everything, whether it has to be comedy or not, inspires me. Whether it's music, somewhere like that, it's something that helped,
Yeah.
and once you apply it, because I just want us as black comics to step outside of Def Jam because that's all these niggas watch. And I'm like, bro, there's so many more comics out here, nigga. You got the Bill Burrs and the Brian Flanagan's. Like these niggas is funny, and y'all motherfuckers still watching Bernie's set from 30 years ago. Like it's a great set. I fuck with Bernie, but like it's more than Def Jam. It's more than Comic View. It's a whole comedy thing out here that people need to pay attention to because it's way more influence. And then when you wonder why you go to clubs and see motherfuckers still in here, yeah. And then I punched her in the pussy, and the pussy was good. And then I ate the pussy, and then I'm like, bro, like this is Def Jam revamped 2.0. This is Def Jam 2.0. If you watch Def Jam, all they sets was very amateur sets. You go and go back and watch it. Like it's 5 minutes of them shooking and jiving.
Yeah, no, I've studied
y'all,
Def Comedy Jam. I
y'all ever
watched
had
every
roaches? Yeah,
episode.
you go to roaches and you slap it on the wall and it's like, and then her pussy got wet. I'm like, what the fuck did that have to do with the roach?
I feel like one of the things I hate the most about comedy is when you see a comic that you could tell they grew up watching Def Comedy Jam and now they're living out their dreams
Mhm,
because they do comedy just
mhm,
like they do on Def Comedy Jam. I'm like, dog,
mhm.
please, like,
It's
learn a
that
new
I
way.
can tell. It's either one thing. It's I'm like this motherfucker only watches Def Comedy Jam, or he's new and it's like and has an inspiration of he's trying to be like the person he watched on Def Jam. Like it's always like they're a fan of somebody they seen on Def Jam and they try to. Because when I started comedy, I was watching a lot of Corey Holcomb, so I was up
Mhm.
there, just not trying to be Corey Holcomb, but I sounded like him because that's all I watched. Now I don't watch as much comedy now more because that's how I stand out. If I sat here and watch motherfuckers all day, you end up sounding like them. You
Yeah,
start sounding like these niggas, and then like the joke police, they gonna know because there's motherfuckers that get on stage and there's motherfuckers that don't get on stage, but they sit around talking about who stole and who didn't. I'm like, nigga, you need jokes to steal because your set ain't good. And I'm not saying stealing is y'all do not steal jokes. Like let people have their craft. Stealing is whack. It's cool to have the same idea, but yeah, you gonna have the same ideas if all you watch is Def Jam.
yeah. No, I
That's
agree.
the thing. If that's all you watch, yeah, you gonna sound like 45 other niggas that's in your city. Yes, of course.
Tell people, give anybody else listening to this like words of encouragement if you can, any comedian that's listening to this right now.
If you are aspiring to be a comedian, I'm going to tell you this with all love. Run, nigga. Do not do this shit if you not built for it, because this shit will wear you out. It's nothing but driving to and from locations. The money ain't good until you get to where you need to be. So don't doing this shit for the money. If you're doing this for bitches, don't make this all about the bitches because they're gonna come. Once you get funny, they're gonna come. You're not gonna have to go look for bitches. They're gonna come. Trust me. Trust me, homie. Trust me. So write your jokes, stand out, hit them stages, build your time up, have a clean set. You need a clean set. You cannot get nowhere on TV being a dirty comic 24/7 because if who got a TV show now? If Jennifer Hudson calls you, it's like, yo, I need a comic to do 10 minutes. You can't get up there with pussy, pussy, murder, murder, kill, kill. You can't do that. They're not gonna air it. They're not gonna put you on the show, period. So you need to have a clean set, something, at least a little bit, teen friendly. And that's who makes the most money. People that are on TV doing these shows and everything. So make sure you be smart, don't steal, be neutral, stay out of grown folks' business. Do not be on social media down in other comedians because they're gonna see that shit. There's a lot of people on your page that are friends with these people, and they're like, "We see you put so and so on tour with you." Yeah, he's funny. Yeah, but he just said he agreed with Cat. Everything Cat said about you. He was up here calling you a bitch ass nigga. So that right there is stay out of grown people's business. Stay out of rich people's business. Whatever Cat and them talk about, that's their business. That happened way before I started. I ain't got nothing to say about that. It's funny, but stay out of it if you're a new comic. So I mean, if you apply that, listen to all that, you would be fine in this business. Build relationships. That's all I gotta say. Yes, sir.
Marlon, Marlon, tell people why they should listen to comedians in bed.
Oh, listen to comedians in bed because I just dropped a couple gems on you that somebody else would charge you for. Do not take comedy classes. They do not take comedy classes. They do not teach you what you should know. So if you try to take a comedy class and then like you think you're gonna get funny, you can't teach funny like that. And if you teaching a class, it shouldn't be all about jokes. You need to tell these people how to write comedy off on their taxes, how to save money, what who you need to talk to get hotel deals and flight deals to get to and from your shows and to maximize your income. That's a comedy class. I would tell you that shit for free. I don't need to charge y'all for that because I'm in this stuff too. So listen to comedians in bed. He has a great selection of comics up here that will tell you some great stuff for free. So make sure y'all check this out, man.
Marlon, tell people where they can reach you at, man.
I am on all social media platforms at Marlan Comedy, Marlan. It's right at the bottom of my thing right there. So make sure you spell my name right, otherwise you won't find me.
Check us out every Tuesday, man, on my YouTube channel at TYE Comedy. We drop every Tuesday at 11 a.m. You can check us out on IG at Comedians in Bed Podcast, or wherever you listen to podcasts. That's where we'll be streaming. Marlon, man, we thank you, man, for joining on with us today, bro. You've been doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. See you out there on the road, man. We see you guys next week.
Yeah.